2025. What a year. If I can be vulnerable for a second, this year was a bit of a scary one. Not only with everything that's going on in the world right now, but also with a myriad of other more personal things. For instance, I graduated college. I'm entering adulthood while still trying to figure out what that exactly means. So, what better way to celebrate that we made it to the end of the year than with a discussion about movies? Welcome to my 2025 movie recap. So this video is going to be different from last year's. Last year's we went through the good, the bad, the best, the worst, and everything in between. This year, for the sake of bringing more positivity to the conversation, I'm going to be going through my top 10 films of the year. Sorry. We will be going through our top 10 films of the year because joining me today is Firework Films VP, Emmy Oliver. You can come on screen. So how are you doing today? How you doing?
Doing good. Day after Christmas.
Yes, it's the day after Christmas. We're filming this the
About
day
to get a
after
crazy snowstorm.
Are we? Yeah.
Yeah. Last night, not a recent film, but we watched the 2000 How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yes, and
with Jim
it was a
Carrey.
ride.
It was a ride. It was very fun.
It was a ride. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
How do you think this year was
In terms of movies, I think it was a good year. I think there's still a lot that I haven't seen. Are we gonna do like an honorable mention thing at the end, maybe?
I mean, yeah, we can do an honorable mention. Like,
well, I want to bring up like, oh, these are the movies that we haven't seen yet. So it's like, oh, if you're pissed
Yes.
that Marty Supreme isn't on this list, we didn't
see Marty Supreme yet.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah.
And a bunch of others. But I think that this year, personally, I think last year was stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like just enjoying more movies last year.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think that like we had a lot of really heavy hitters this year.
Yeah.
And I think that we had some movies this year that are not only like really impactful for the year, but they're gonna be impactful like years to come. Like it's gonna be something that we're gonna be telling the next generation, like this was a classic movie at the time in 2025.
I feel like the 2020s generally have just been kind of a high for movies a little bit. It's with 2020 kind of being the odd one out because that was during COVID, but
right.
2021 had some hits. 2022 was like the best
An amazing year.
2023 just had a lot of movies.
A lot of really good
things
stuff.
Stuck to the wall.
Yeah.
2024 was kind of like, all right, we're easing back into like normalcy. And now this year is very much like...
We're so back.
Yeah, we're back. Without further ado, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's begin.
Let's do it.
Did you want to go first or you want?
You can go first.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Number 10 for me this year was F1. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. I know nothing about the racing world, to be honest. I know nothing about it. I heard about it and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then I saw it and it has some of the best shots. It's because I think the way that they did it is that they put like a lot of cameras on each part of the car and just like roll and then like scrubbed it out with like the effects afterwards. But like I'm pretty sure like the racing is all practical. That's all like practical racing and like not like green screen stuff. But it was really cool. It was directed by the same guy who did Top Gun Maverick, which I think that's just kind of his vibe. His thing is like just filming real stuff because in Top Gun Maverick they filmed real jets.
Real jets.
And then with this one is real
well,
cars.
it wasn't like Brad Pitt driving, right?
It was, yeah.
He was. He
Yeah,
learned how to
Brad
drive a race
Pitt
car.
learned how to drive a race car for this movie, which was
Brad Pitt.
incredible.
Slay Brad Pitt.
Yeah, the performances were incredible. The storyline was very, very touching. Very like I was like digging into the seat, like kind of like waiting to see what happened next. So yeah, F1. That's on my number 10.
My number 10, I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I just need to triple check. I'm not organized like Diego. I just have my letterbox list. Okay. For any of you who may know, I am a freelance entertainment journalist. I did some writing for CBR.com. I also did some writing for a online entertainment site called popculturepress.org. And I have been known to cover film festivals. So for the past 2 years in a row, I have attended the Tribeca Film Festival. So I've had the really great opportunity to go and to connect with other industry professionals, whether they're filmmakers filmmakers, other journalists, creatives of all kinds. And this year I got to meet some really cool people, and I also got to see some really cool films. And one of the films that I saw and is my official number 10 is called Our Hero Balthazar. It's directed by Oscar Boyson. It stars Jaden Martell from the It movies. It also stars Asa Butterfield from Sex Education, and he's an actor that has kind of like been there with me since I was a kid. I've seen a lot of movies that he's been in, and this movie it's not largely out yet, so if you haven't seen it, right, like I got to see it because it was at the film festival, but it's essentially about this wealthy teen who lives in New York, played by Jaden Martell, named Balthazar, and he develops a crush on a girl at school who is a avid school shooting activist. Like, she's trying to basically push back during the drills and be like, this is ridiculous, you know, we have a gun problem in America. And Balthazar tries to essentially win her heart by connecting with a young man who lives in Texas who he thinks is going to shoot up a school and then stop the school shooting so that he can get the attention of this girl. And so it is, as you can probably tell from my plot synopsis, a dark comedy, a satire. It's very well acted. Asa Butterfield gives like one of my favorite performances of the year. Like, he was completely unrecognizable because he's this like British actor, but he just like, they make him look like this, you know, stereotypical Texas redneck kind of guy. He's got like a bleach blonde mullet and gauges, and he just looks, you know, so the part, and he, you know, has the accent and everything, and he just does a really good job. And it's very underrated performance, you know, obviously because a lot of people haven't seen it, but the movie is shot well, it's acted well. I really like the satire and the comedy. I think it can feel polarizing because, you know, you're discussing a topic like gun violence against children in America, which is very pertinent, but I think that the way that the film goes about it, it treads the line between getting really serious and talking about these things from a very objective level to almost moving it into a territory where you can understand how ridiculous all of this is and how ridiculous the violence in America is, and how it really affects people. So yeah, that is my number 10.
Nice. Up with number 9. Up with number 9?
Up with number 9.
Up with number 9. What's the correct term?
Up next at number 9.
She's the smart one.
Brain.
Up next at number 9 is, for me, The Bad Guys 2. Now, I was a little late to the whole Bad Guys trend. DreamWorks is not really my forte, I will admit. I have seen some great stuff like Road to El Dorado.
You don't love The Boss Baby?
So I was late to the trend because I saw that a second one was coming out, but I still hadn't seen the first one. So I saw both this year, and I gotta say, like, those movies, like, obviously they play more into like the kid side of the whole. There's a bunch of like, you know, fart jokes and stuff like that in the movie, but the animation is spectacular. The soundtrack is always on point, and just like the plot is actually like really, really cool and like makes you like think about things in a certain different type of way. It's based on I think it's based on a comic or something like that.
It's based on a book.
It's based on a book.
It's based on a children's book. I've seen it in Barnes & Noble.
Yes. It's based on a children's book, and the first one, fantastic. This second one, equally as fantastic. Bad Guys 2, that's on my number 9.
For my number 9, shout out to last year's video when we were talking about our most anticipated films of the year. I said that one of mine was Mickey 17, and I was so ready to see Robert Pattinson make a goofy, silly face and silly voice, and I must say he delivered. Not only is Robert Pattinson just like doing so much, if I had a nickel for every time an actor played 2 versions of themselves, I'd have 2 nickels.
That's called foreshadowing.
That's a surprise tool that'll help us later. Robert Pattinson is just doing so much in this movie. I love how he plays Mickey 17 and 18 and how he interacts with his girlfriend. Oh gosh, what's that actress's name? Naomi Ackie! I literally was gonna say her name was, Naomi Ackie is really good. But really, who takes the cake? You know who it is. It's Mark Ruffalo. I think Mark Ruffalo is having a moment where he's just playing like silly little guys. He's playing silly, misogynistic. Those adjectives don't coincide, but although, you know, misogyny do be silly though.
What?
No.
Leave that in.
No, do not. I will sue you. I know where you live. Mark Ruffalo just does a really good job with portraying this kind of larger than life figure. He's definitely doing a, imitation of somebody, and I think he does a really good job. Toni Collette similarly is playing a character that she kind of played in Knives Out, and I just love Toni Collette. I think she can do no wrong, and she's an underrated actress. In terms of Mickey 17, I think that, again, the cast is probably the best. I'm a person who really loves seeing actors that I love just go up on screen and do their thing or do something completely new. So I like that, we're seeing more of Robert Pattinson. I like that we're seeing, this new side of Mark Ruffalo where he's kind of doing these over-the-top performances that he's really suited for, and I think he's killing it. The comedy is great. I think the larger conversations about, capitalism, consumerism, work culture kind of goes hand in hand with something like Severance, I feel like, in terms of how debilitating modern work culture and corporate America can be. I will say, as a Bong Joon-ho film, obviously Parasite is his magnum opus. I didn't think that this film was as deep as something like Parasite, but I still very much enjoyed the comedy being used as a means for commentary on class and things like that. So yeah, Mickey 17 is my number 9 film.
Next up, we got number 8, and for me, number 8 goes to Predator, Killer of Killers. Like I said with the bad guys, I've been late to a lot of the trends, especially with Predator. I think I watched all of them, excluding the one that just came out, Badlands. I didn't watch Badlands yet, but I watched all of them this year, and then when I heard that Killer of Killers was out, I think I was in the middle of watching them all, so I was like, oh, I gotta finish these. I haven't seen when he goes up against Alien, though. I haven't seen Alien vs. Predator. But this movie was so unique, and it was so well made. It's an animated movie. It's a movie that is divided into 3 stories. It's one from Viking times, one from ancient Japan, and then the other one in World War II in America. Not in America, but in the Pacific conflict. And each 3 of those stories has a predator attached to them. So you get to see how people would fight the predator in these different time frames. I don't want to spoil anything, but it gets crazy in the 3rd act, and it's nuts. And it's just so cool to see these different history time periods and eras and these styles of fighting all put together in one. Spoiler warning a little bit. There are some callbacks to Prey, the 2022 Predator film that I absolutely adored. And there's callbacks to that, and I just, oh my god, I can't even, it's hard for me to even say it to words because it was so cool, and it was just, the voice acting was incredible. Shout out Damien Haas. Damien from Smosh is in the movie.
No way!
Yeah. But the animation was incredible, and the characters were really, really cool. It's just amazing. So Predator, Killer of Killers is my number 8.
Wow. Well, Diego just went on a nerdy rant about Predator. It's now the portion of the video where Emmy gets to talk about musical theater. My number 8 is actually, some people may not even consider this a movie, but it's on Letterboxd, so I count it. It is the pro shot of the musical Next to Normal. It is available on pbs.org. I think, hopefully it wasn't taken off after they were defunded. Good God. So Next to Normal is a musical that follows a family. It follows a woman with bipolar disorder, her husband, and her daughter. And the woman has visions and hallucinations and a relationship with her dead son, her son who died as an infant, and she is now imagining him as a young man. And so it's basically all about how she navigates her mental illness, how she navigates her relationship with her husband, her daughter, and her fantasy son. So this musical is obviously very heavy, and it is a theater production. The music is really good. It kind of has a pop rock vibe to it. It's not written in traditional musical theater. There's a lot of really awesome songs. There's a lot of really great dynamics between the characters. There's a lot of very gutting moments. Absolutely, if you want to watch this, I totally recommend it, but yeah, big trigger warning for mental illness, self-harm, drugs, all the things really. It's a very heavy film, and it's a very heavy way to portray these things, but it portrays it in such a human way. A lot of musicals kind of tried to go into these deeper themes, and I'm not gonna name drop, but there are some other musicals that are very popular that I think try to discuss themes of mental illness, and they kind of get a little in over their heads. They end up doing things for shock value, or they end up doing things that feel a bit misguided. But I think Next to Normal is a very human portrayal of these issues. It reminds people about how the support of family can really lift you up and help you through these issues. And on top of that, again, it's just like really great musical theater. The lyrics are well written, the musical compositions are really great, and I just think it's a really awesome piece of musical theater. And as a pro shot, I am always an advocate for filming musical theater, broadcasting it to everybody, because, you know, not everybody has the opportunity to go see Broadway productions. I wouldn't have been able to see this musical if not for this pro shot. And, you know, obviously you can listen to the cast album, but as a visual learner, I always prefer to watch the musical so I can get context for what I'm seeing. And you really need that sometimes, because like, as somebody who just got into Ride the Cyclone, can y'all imagine if I was listening to Space Age Swingin' Bachelor Man without context? I would have no idea what's going on. So this is to say, make musical theater more accessible, watch more movies and musicals that talk about mental health, and support musical theater. If we did the whole video, but like we replaced me with a Labubu, I think that'd be really funny.
I don't want to do that.
That's so sad.
No Labubu. No Labubu. No Labubu. Coming in at number 7, I'm so excited because I finally get to talk about this. It's Wake Up Dead Man. I love the Knives Out movies. I love Rian Johnson, I love Daniel Craig, I love murder mysteries in general. And as a murder mystery fan, it's kind of been hard. I was living off the Kenneth Branagh's Hercule Poirot movies for a while, and then radio silence. I don't know if they're making a new one. I really hope they are, but I'm patiently waiting. But in the meantime, I will enjoy the silly Southern detective solve mysteries. And Knives Out is incredible. That's my favorite movie of 2019. It's just an amazing movie. Glass Onion, equally as amazing, super funny. And recently I had the pleasure of showing this one here, this one over here, both of those in preparation for this third one. And this third one does not disappoint. The story is so intertwining and changing that at any given moment you can be unsure of who actually did it. We were unsure of who did it because every single detail would change the answer and be like, oh wait, we think it's this person. Oh no, it's actually this person. Oh wait, it's actually this person.
And this is coming from somebody who predicted the killer the last 2 movies.
Exactly, like she nailed it, like immediately. But like with this one, we were left guessing, and
this one got me.
The one thing I will say about Benoit Blanc is that yes, he can be funny, he can be silly, he can be the silly guy, but when he locks in, he locks in. There's a certain scene in this movie, and you know, spoilers if you haven't seen it, Josh O'Connor's character is writing the letter for Benoit to read, kind of recapping him on everything that happened before he got there, right? And so he's telling the story, and then Benoit reads it, and that's what the narration's about in the beginning. And then Benoit goes up to Josh O'Connor and says, why didn't you tell me? And it's this whole gripping tension that he just brings, as well as being the funny guy. It perfectly encapsulates murder mystery as a genre. Ryan, please make like 15
Never
more,
stop
please.
making the Benoit Blanc
please,
movies.
Please.
We beg.
So if you haven't seen any of the Knives Out movies, see them. And if you haven't seen Wake Up Dead Man, see it. It's incredible.
For my number 7, some people are gonna be like, why isn't this higher? And the answer to that is, this movie is honestly astonishing, but there were just some other ones that I personally liked better and that I thought utilized more techniques that I am personally a fan of. But at number 7 is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I've not read the book. I'm reading it right now, and it's actually very different from the movie, to the point where I'm just like, okay, like the creative liberties that were taken here were very interesting, but honestly, based on, I've only read like 5 chapters of the book so far, but based on the style that Del Toro is known for and the very gothic, dark, disturbing feel of the movie, I think that the changes that he made were for the best. The cinematography is amazing, the effects are amazing, the performances are outstanding, both from Elordi and from Isaac, from Mia Goth as well. You know, I've not seen any of the X movies yet, but I am a Mia Goth fan. I think that she's a really great actress. I was a super big fan of her costumes too, because, you know, I'm just a girl and I like big, frilly, poofy dresses. But I think, you know, this movie, just like Del Toro's other films, commits to the style, and it never lets up on the viewer of really immersing you in this Victorian world and, you know, diving into Victor's psyche. You know, we've all heard the critiques online that like some lines are a little on the nose, or, you know, some things didn't fit as cleanly into the plot as we would have hoped. And those critiques are valid, but ultimately, like, you just have to respect the hell out of this movie for the scale. The fact that, you know, a director like Del Toro can make a film like this and assemble a really great cast. And, you know, people were a little hesitant about Jacob Elordi. They were like, what? But like, he did a really incredible job, and I'm happy that he's getting more respect as an actor. So I'm obsessed with the sets. Like, I am so campaigning for a production design Oscar nom, hopefully even a win, because I don't even know if I've seen a movie with a better set this year. So yeah, Frankenstein is my number 7. I think it appears higher on Diego's list.
For my number 6, I have a Stephen King adaptation. A Stephen King adaptation is always going to make for a great conversation when it comes to movies. The It movies, for example, Shawshank, Green Mile, all these different types of movies, and that's why my number 6 is The Running Man. That's right, it's The Running Man. Quick recap. I did not know anything about The Running Man. My dad is a huge Stephen King fan, and so he heard about it and he wanted to go see it, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Glenn Powell, why not? This was directed by Edgar Wright, so you know it's going to be crazy, and so that's exactly what it was. It was crazy. It was intense. It was topical. It felt like you were running along with him. That's the best way I can describe it. It felt like you were running along with the character. You're brought through this world and you're shown the ins and outs, what works, what doesn't, and how people feel and all these things. And it's amazing. So my number 6 is The Running Man.
My number 6 is technically not a movie, but it's on Letterboxd. So shut up. My number 6 is Adolescence. It's a miniseries, a 4-part miniseries that came out on Netflix in the beginning of the year. It won a couple Emmys. I mean, everyone and their mother has seen this show, but in case you need a recap, it's about a 13-year-old boy who is accused of murdering his classmate, and it's all done in one take. The entire episode is shot in one take. It usually focuses on one location, or if not, you know, we're like moving through different locations. It's entirely focused on the dramatic performances and deliveries of the actors and kind of how they're able to build tension through the dialogue and with those dramatic performances. I just thought this series was like honestly excellent. Like everything about like the acting, the fact that, you know, it's all completed in one take. I did a lot of research of the technicalities and like how the camera was moved from like a dolly to a drone back to a tripod, and then they would lift up the tripod and move it and like again bring it to a shoulder mount. Like it's insane the things that they had to perfect to get this series to how it was meant to be. I think that the larger themes about toxic masculinity, about young men and mental health is really pertinent, and I think that it probably could have gone a little bit deeper into that, I think, but we do get really good contrast between the young boy, his father, one of the detectives on the case, his son. The best episode, in my opinion, is the episode with the young boy and the therapist, and there's just a lot of really excellent stuff going on here. The young boy who played the main character, I think his name is Owen Cooper. Is that his name? That is his name, yay! Yeah, Owen Cooper, who played Jamie, was just like absolutely phenomenal, and I'm really excited to see what he does next in his career. So yeah, again, Adolescence, not technically a movie, but it's a mini series, which means it qualifies on Letterboxd, and so that is my number 6. All right, so now we are in our top 5, and we're gonna have Diego begin this. Yeah.
At number 5, we already talked about it, but it's time to revisit It's Mickey 17. I love this movie. I saw it twice. Once in California while I was there for a trip, and then once with you here in New Jersey. I almost said in the States.
Yeah, the country of California.
I think you said it well, where it's just like the kind of cast plays off each other really, really well. And like Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette are allowed to kind of like play into that quote unquote silliness, for lack of a better word. Everyone is really allowed to play into their extremes. And so the motivations and thought processes in the movie is like the extreme of what that character would do. And I really like how that is like the focal point of like, oh yeah, like we're taking everything to the extreme. And unfortunately, sometimes some of it is not as extreme. Some of it isn't as fictitious as you would hope it to be. But Mickey 17 was still an amazing movie. I still think about it like all the time. So Mickey 17, that's my number 5. Emmy, what's your number 5?
The Long Walk. I have a friend that I went to school with in New York. Shout out Mariah, love you. And she got me into horror recently. So The Long Walk isn't horror. It's marketed as horror in some instances, but I think that that's because it's a Stephen King adaptation. So Diego has The Running Man. I have The Doomed Yowie. I didn't know anything about The Long Walk either. I went into it completely blind. My friend from school was like, I cannot be normal about this movie right now, and I need to talk to somebody about it. So we went to go see it together, and I think it's a very emotionally gripping movie. I've heard some film critics that I watch online be like, yeah, like I feel like this was kind of dull, or this was kind of boring, or this didn't like grab me, or like it doesn't go far enough. And I'm like, dude, brother, did we watch the same movie? Like, hello? Because I just think it's a very simple movie. It's a dystopian world, but it's not something like The Hunger Games or Divergent that's, you know, there's no like crazy futuristic weapons. There's no like, you know, Capitol members dressed up in all fancy schmancy clothes and, you know, gorging themselves with like delicacies that we cannot even imagine. It's very simple. It's something that you can actually imagine happening in our country, which is really, really scary. And that's where the horror comes in, I think. I think Cooper Hoffman gives an amazing performance. So many other actors give a really amazing performance. I'm blanking on a lot of their names right now. But I think that this movie is just gonna stick with people for a really long time.
Yeah.
I like that it's disturbing, but in like a way that you don't think you would be typically disturbed. Like normal things that we take for granted every day in our world are kind of put on blast here, and they're twisted and distorted into something really disturbing. But then of course, like the real crux of the movie is the central friendship and relationship between the two main leads. Yeah, the relationship between Pete and Ray is just so wholesome. However you want to read their relationship, again, I certainly have my opinions about it. It's just like so beautiful to see that there were a lot of films this year that focused on like young men lifting each other up and being loving towards each other, and that's something that exists in a lot of Stephen King works. Watching this movie definitely sent me down a rabbit hole. I watched the 2 newer It movies this year. I watched Stand By Me. Rip Rob Reiner, you're an amazing director and you created amazing work, including Stand By Me. So yeah, I'm just really obsessed with learning more about Stephen King and his writing. And I've done some research on him, and there's definitely some like really interesting facts about him that, you know, would kind of blow anybody away. But yeah, The Long Walk is my number 5. And while I can understand that people are like, oh, well, it might be kind of slow, or it might be kind of like not technically impressive or whatever, I just think it's a really gutting experience, and it made me feel lots of feelings. So that's a good movie in my book.
Now we're at movie number 4. What a great segue into my number 4 pick. My number 4 is Fantastic Four: First Steps. This movie was so good. And like, listen, the Fantastic Four have been through absolute hell. They have tried and tried and tried again. One of those attempts, really good. The others, not great.
What are you talking about, Diego? I thought the 2015 one was fantastic.
Say that again?
But this one was incredible. I remember hearing that this movie was in development for years, and it was always a question of who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be John Krasinski? Is it gonna be Adam Driver? Is it gonna be this, that, and the third? And then it was Pedro Pascal, and I rejoiced, because I love Pedro Pascal. A lot of people didn't, but that's okay. There was still time for the movie to come out, and this movie was incredible. The rollout for it, the hype that was building and building and building, and then finally out, you know? It was just so good. They nailed the powers and the costumes and the aesthetic so perfectly. I love those little wink and nods to like some of the cameos, like for the 1994 Fantastic Four movie that never got released. Those actors actually cameoed in this movie just for a brief second of like one of the people in the news. Though when she's holding the press conference and the seat for Latveria is empty, that's amazing. That's such a good attention to detail. And the end credit scene, oh my god, I was not normal for the end credit scene. It was just so incredible, and they finally nailed what makes each of these characters tick. I think this is the best interpretation of those characters that we have ever seen. No hate to any of the actors who have played them before. You guys are great. It's just that I think this really fills these actors really fill these characters perfectly. This movie was fantastic. This movie was fantastic. I
hope they make 4 of them.
What? So excited for their return in Doomsday. Really excited to see them pair up with these other Marvel heroes. I hope they do more with Mr. Fantastic, because he's just such an interesting character to me that I really hope they do more with him, because he is like the smartest man in the world. The smartest man in the world. Yeah.
But Tony's
second, I think.
Oh, and Tony also is a... So.
Spoilers! No, just
spoilers for Avengers Endgame.
But yeah, Fantastic Four, that's on my number 4.
My number 4, you guys might remember last year that my most anticipated movie of the year was Companion at the time. That changed when I found out that Weapons was going to be coming out. But before I knew that, it was Companion. It came out earlier in the year. I think it came out around Valentine's Day, which is very fitting because it's essentially about this group of couples that take a retreat in the mountains. Although the main girl, played by Sophie Thatcher, Yellow Jacket Stands Rise Up, she has a dark secret. And if you watch the trailer, you'll know what it is, but I'm not gonna say it now, just in case. So we have Sophie Thatcher, we have Jack Quaid, we have Lucas Gage, we have a lot of cool actors in this movie, and they are just like playing it so great. I think Jack Quaid is like the perfect choice to play an incel. Not because he is an incel in real life, but he just like is really good at playing that. And Sophie Thatcher kind of does a really good job of playing the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, you know? She's definitely got like an alt girl vibe to her, so I really enjoyed watching her performance. But I think why I like this movie so much, I mean, yes, it's like produced by Zach Kreger, who made my favorite horror movie of all time, Barbarian. It just discusses more themes of toxic masculinity, womanhood, relationship dynamics, gender roles, all of these themes that, you know, kind of make my brain tick and things that I am personally interested in. And I think, you know, the movie was very funny. It was very well paced. It had some good reveals, even though, again, like one of the main reveals is revealed in the trailer. It had other reveals that you're just like, whoa, and it kind of raises the stakes a little bit. It also has commentary on AI. And, you know, we at Firework Films here are very anti-AI, and like we will proudly state that right now. So I think that the fact that we're bringing that conversation into more, you know, modern films is really important, because that is something that we're going to see affecting the film industry as we move forward. So yeah, Companion, number 4, just a really fun time at the movies, you know, and Zach Kreger, you can do no wrong. I know you didn't direct this movie, but you produced it, and I respect that.
Time for number 3. This is the top 3 now. We've went from 10 to 5 to 3. That's usually how countdowns work.
Yes.
But here we go. And for any of you who watched last year's video, I said that my most anticipated movie of 2025 was Superman. And that is what is at number 3.
And if you also remember, Diego was begging, pleading for this movie to be good.
And it was. It delivered.
I did not see the movie.
She did not see the movie because she's cringe. I'm gonna say it. I love Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman. I love Christopher Reeve's portrayal of Superman. I love Brendan Routh's portrayal of Superman. Brendan Routh. They've all kind of felt like, yeah, that's Superman, that's Superman, that's Superman. David Cornsweet, which I hope I'm saying his name correctly, that is Superman. He embodies the character so well. You struck gold with that casting. Like, absolute gold. And like, this was, I'm gonna do it, absolute cinema. The casting was impeccable. David Cornsweet,
Rachel Brosnahan,
Nicholas Hoult, Nathan Fillion, the Justice Gang, amazing. Like, each casting was so perfectly like done. I can't even do English good because I love this movie so much. That's how you know I love a movie so much, when I can't articulate English well. No, but this movie was so good, and like the ride that I have been on as a DC fan for the 2020s has just been turbulent, to say the least.
Brutal out here, guys.
It's brutal. We got some peaks this decade so far, but it's just, I've been holding on, and I'm so happy that we got Superman, and I really hope they continue with it into Supergirl, which I saw the trailer for. It looks incredible. Man of Tomorrow, which Brainiac just got casted for that movie. So
who plays Brainiac?
incredible.
Do you know?
I don't know.
We don't know
I forget his name. He was in
Whoopsies.
Jay Kelly, I think. Superman, incredible movie. Superman handles Lex Luthor extremely well. Like Gene Hackman and Kevin Spacey, yikes, playing Lex Luthor has always been like, okay, yeah. Jesse Eisenberg, hear me out. I liked how crazy he was, but this
No disrespect to Jesse Eisenberg.
This Lex
But
Luthor,
damn.
this Lex Luthor was just a hater. And that's what I love about supervillains, especially ones like Lex Luthor, is that they just are haters. And if this is what's a hater looks like, Reverse Flash is going to be insane in this DC canon. But like, that's even if we get him. But like, if we do, it's gonna be insane, because that guy is like generational hater. So Superman, incredible. Mwah.
Well, Diego, it's so funny that your most anticipated movie of the year became your number 3, because my most anticipated movie of the year became my number 3. So, as you all know, the greatest horror movie of our time, Barbarian. Barbarian, written and directed by Zach Kreger in 2022, starring Georgina Campbell and Bill Skarsgård, was my favorite. It's my favorite horror movie ever made. I think it exercises 3-act structure brilliantly. I think it turns expectations on its head. It discusses those themes that I've been talking about this entire video so eloquently, and I just think it's absolutely brilliant. So you can imagine that I was very, very excited for Zach Kreger's sophomore film, Weapons. The cast for this is amazing. I am an Ozark fan. Well, you know, I didn't like the ending. But Julia Garner, awesome. Josh Brolin, awesome. Benedict Wong. Look, everybody in this entire cast was just awesome, okay? And I was just really excited, especially with like the hiccups that it went through, you know, like Pedro Pascal was supposed to be in it. But I just think the cast was like really well done for this movie. So Weapons, it had kind of a cryptic release, you know? It's just this teaser of all these kids like T-posing into the night, you know, running around. And then once I finally got to go see it opening day, August 8th, I have to say, I still like Barbarian more, and I still think that that is Kreger's magnum opus. But this movie just like really kicked things up a notch. It's funnier than Barbarian. It's more high stakes. You can tell that there's a higher budget, there's more resources available. And even though I like that Barbarian was made on a small budget and it kind of had to exercise what it had in terms of the setting, the actors, and the small space that they were in, Weapons is just like bigger. And I think that, you know, are there some things that I think that they could have handled better? They kind of introduced the big bad villain towards the end of the movie. Yeah, I think that that probably could have been handled better. But like, you know, what other villain has a fate like that at the end?
If you know, you know.
You know what I'm talking about. I just think that, you know, there's so many moments in this movie that are just like creepy. The scene in the car, you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, my theater was just like, oh! But also like giggling. Like, this movie really capitalizes on the fact that Zach Kreger is a comedian. He started out as a comedian.
Yeah.
And so he's exercising his humor charms, you know? He's just going all in it with the humor. And I also really like that, like Barbarian, this film experiments with structure as well, in the sense that you have almost adjacent to linear, because like the story is happening in chronological order, but we also see flashbacks. We see different perspectives. We see how things unfold from the eyes of certain characters, and I think it's really interesting. I saw a video from The Take, which is a feminist podcast video essay channel that I like, and they did a video where they basically analyzed the themes of Weapons, because I did notice that The Barbarian seemed like more of a thematically strong and cohesive film, but with Weapons I was like, you know, trying to pull some threads together of like, oh, this is what I think this symbolizes, and this is what I think this means. But The Take did a really good video on what Weapons, what they think it's actually actually about, and they cited interviews with Kreger to kind of like bring in their evidence for that. I just think that this movie, any way that you look at it, it's just a really fun time. It's creepy, it's funny, it's emotional, and it's just really fun. And I really like that it's a horror movie that kind of brought people back to the theaters again. So yeah, weapons.
We're almost at the end of the list. We have number 2 next. We already talked about this movie, spoiler alert, but my number 2 was Frankenstein. I don't want to repeat any of the things that you said, but time to go off of it. Production, amazing. Casting, incredible. The world that we were kind of put into in that movie was just jaw-dropping. And I know that like some of the violence was intense, and that may be a little bit of a turnoff for some people, but it's so gritty and so like embedded in reality that like the fact that it makes you uncomfortable is like a really good thing, because like that whole monster's dynamic is that Frankenstein as like a monster is probably, I would argue, the most grounded out of like the old like classic Hollywood kind of movie monsters.
What about the Invisible Man?
The Invisible Man is great. I love the Invisible Man, but like out of all of them, Frankenstein is the one that's like from the ground.
Honey, you're saying remember, Frankenstein is Victor.
Yeah,
Frankenstein's monster.
The creature. The creature is the one that's like from the ground, you know, like from like rooted.
Well, he is made of dead people.
Exactly. Like he's rooted in kind of like this reality, like this dark, twisted reality, because we're all like, oh, what if we controlled life? And this just shows like a twisted form of that question. Like if we had the ability to give life and death as we choose, the whole twistedness of Victor is so like
he's an incel.
Impressive to watch, and so like cool to see, like this twisted mind that like needs to like prove himself, and it's like it's just so like the ambition kills. The cinematography was some of my favorite. I love the storytelling, and I also love that the creature was well spoken, because I haven't read the book, but I heard in the book that he is actually really well spoken.
I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Well, spoilers. Frankenstein, that's at my number 2.
For my number 2, y'all probably been waiting for this one, alright? Some people are calling this the movie of the year, and I can totally see that for some people. I personally thought that there was one more film that really encapsulated what this whole year was about, but for me, my number 2 is One Battle After Another. I've seen a couple PTA films. I've seen Boogie Nights, I've seen Hard 8. I have not seen any others yet. I'm a failure. But One Battle After Another is just really gripping, and you know, I've heard a lot of people say that the title like really encapsulates the entire vibe of the movie, and I completely agree with that, because it literally, like, from the moment it starts, it just doesn't let go. Like, there's no calm moment in the movie. Like, even when, you know, it's Willa and her dad just like sitting there talking, you're just like, oh my god, like these people's lives are at stake here. I think the performances are like really like unstoppable, really. I think Sean Penn, he's gonna get the Oscar. The person that he's playing, he's just so gross. The walk, come on. The walk. Diego does the walk all the time. It's very funny. Leo's doing a really good job. He's funny. He's charming. Benicio del Toro. Oh my god. The whole sequence with Benicio del Toro and just how the camera moves through the corridors and the hallways as they're like getting everybody to safety. It's inspiring. It's mobilizing. It's like, you know, you watch One Battle After Another and like they're like, what radicalized you? Oh, one battle after another. Because literally, like, with the current political climate in this country right now, it just really invigorates something within you that like we need to come together. We need to support each other, our neighbors, our brothers and sisters, and it's just awesome. And we need to unite against people like Sean Penn in this movie. Chase Infinity, she's a new actress. First of all, badass name, but she's just so awesome. We see her character kind of come out of her shell, and that's really great. The one critique that I've been seeing with this movie is that a lot of people don't like the way that Black women are portrayed in this film. And, you know, I cannot speak on that, but I do think that Tiana Taylor, while she gave a really awesome performance, I can see some critiques with her character. But she's a very complicated character, and I think that her role in the story is supposed to create a lot of that tension. And conversely, Chase Infinity's character Willa's role in the story is very much inspiring audiences of like, we are the next generation, we're here to inspire hope, and we're here to do the right thing. So I just think this movie is just very invigorating. Again, I don't think it's the movie of the year. I get why some people would say that, but for me, I just think like those critiques that I mentioned hold it back a little bit, but I still think it's a really awesome time, and I could definitely, I think that Sean Penn has the Oscar in the bag for that absolutely deplorably good performance.
We're down to our final movie, the number one movie of the year for us. And I think we have the same one. So you want to say it on 3?
Yes, I do.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Nightwing and Batgirl, checkmate.
What?
Number 1 is Sinners.
Sinners
is incredible. You don't need us to tell you, how good Sinners was, because you probably know how good Sinners was, because all the internet could talk about for months is how good Sinners was. If you have not seen it, see it.
What are you doing?
Go see it.
Yeah, like if you don't see any other movie this year, but you want like a vibe, just go see Sinners.
Go see Sinners.
Because it's just awesome.
Go see Sinners.
Okay?
I'm so dumbfounded by the fact that Ryan Coogler's situation isn't the norm. He went up to the studio and said, give me full creative control. And they were like, okay.
And this is what happens.
This is what happens
when you give your directors full creative control.
Full creative
Most of the time,
control.
it's a really good idea,
Most
guys.
of the time. Can't argue all the time.
No.
But most of the time, a fantastic idea. Michael B. Jordan is getting that Oscar. This was incredible. And I know I keep saying that word, but this was sensational. This was generational. This is one of those movies, I think you said it when we left the theater, that we're going to talk about and be like, oh yeah, this was
This is like this generation's Back to the Future.
Essentially.
Like, I'm sorry, when you talk about a movie that, you know, it's kind of hard to measure what's going to be a classic. You know, Carson Runquist made a video about like movies that he thinks are going to be classics in years from now or kind of have already reached classic status. I think Sinners is one of those movies for sure.
Sinners is definitely one of those movies, and it's definitely one of those movies that I can see younger generations watching and that being their catalyst to the film world.
Oh, absolutely.
And like,
absolutely.
So like, I didn't mean to cover your, I think I covered your face here.
I'm disappointed that, you know, it was overshadowed by One Battle After Another. Again, both great movies. Like, it's literally my number 2 pick, my number 1 pick. But I think that Sinners is more thematically heavy. I think it has a more grounded story. I think the understanding of the character dynamics, like every single character in that movie, like you feel like you know them almost, or you know somebody like that in your real life. Again, to attribute to Michael B. Jordan's performance, the fact that he's playing twins, he's playing 2 different people, and you know Smoke, you know Stack, like you know, they don't have to have the red and the blue, like you know which one is which because he plays the characters so distinctly, you know, down to the facial expressions. You're just like, I know who is who. I think that just the dedication to music, to culture, and to discussing themes of race and class in, like, again, this is what happens when you give people of color, queer people, when you give a voice to the voiceless, when you give people the opportunity to tell their stories, they come up with some of the best stuff you've ever seen. And, you know, I'm not saying that white directors can't come up with great movies, but it's like, just give more creative control to creators like Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's doing. You ever seen a man talk about aspect ratios like that?
Yeah. Like,
there's a video of him just talking about aspect ratios.
And he's so excited about it, and it's like, this should be the norm. This who should be making movies. It's like, it's incredible.
Sinners is just absolutely the movie of the year. I'm hoping for a Sinners sweep at the Oscars. I think that it's a movie that defies genre. It's a movie that defies expectation. It's a movie that just uplifts. It uplifts, it depresses, it scares, it invigorates. Yeah. It's a really immaculate movie.
Immaculate. That is our top 10 list of 2025. Now, what I like to do is to look ahead at what's to come. So now I have a list of movies here that are coming out next year that I am so very excited for, and then afterwards I will give Evan the opportunity to say hers, but I have a lot on my list, so that's why I have a whole paper. Iron Lung, The Bride, Project Hail Mary, Super Mario Galaxy, The Drama, Michael, Mortal Kombat 2. Those 2 movies I know I said were on my watch list last year, and they were supposed to come out this year, but they didn't, so like, this is the year. Now it's the year. Mandalorian and Grogu, Supergirl, The Odyssey has to be my most anticipated movie of next year. Spider-Man Brand New Day, Coyote vs. Acme, Clayface, Street Fighter, and of course, Avengers Doomsday. We got some heavy hitters there. We got some big studio, we also have some independents. So like, it's really excited for what they bring to the table.
For me, also Doomsday and The Odyssey are definitely up there. I'm also looking forward to Sunrise on the Reaping. Have I read the book? No, but I'm excited about it. Also, Mother Mary, which is a film starring Anne Hathaway. It looks like a very interesting, kind of spooky, but very like contemplative film. So yeah, there's not a whole lot on my watch list. Oh, I forgot an important one. Wuthering Heights. I like Emerald Fennell. let me be excited for this. And yeah, that's what's on my watch list.
Awesome. Well, that's that. That was our top 10 movies of this year, and also the movies that we're excited for next year. But before we end this video, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge something about this year. I know I said in the beginning of this video that this year was a little scary for a multitude of reasons, but I need to acknowledge the fact that this year was big for firework films. It's been a crazy year. Aside from finishing a 2-year-long project, Nightwing and Batgirl, checkmate. I said it as a joke earlier, but I'm really proud that that movie got made. And like, I'm really proud that we were able to do it. And then we had Mel, which was a really personal script of mine that we were able to put on the big screen. And that was just, that was a whole nother phenomenal feeling. And then we had the most important person in the room.
We have the most important person in the room, which is currently in its festival run. Link down to the GoFundMe down below.
These 3 films from this year, it was a great impact. Like, these 3 films being made this year was just an incredible impact, an incredible result of our like work and determination, and I really hope that we can keep that going into the next, not just 2026, but keep it going until we finish the decade.
We said last year in last year's video that, you know, 2025 was going to be an amazing year for firework films, and I think that we definitely lived up to that. And we want to thank all of you out there watching who supported these projects and have continued to support. We want to thank all of our friends, our company, people who have donated, contributed, just been there for us and supported our crazy dream of filmmaking.
And it's just, to add on to that, our company grew a little bit. We have more people joining in, and we have more voices making projects, and it's really exciting for me because that's what I really want to see. I want firework films to be this hub of just creativity, where we're allowed to, you know, say our voice and speak our minds and just kind of go on with the work of filmmaking, which is beautiful. It's
really important to us.
It's really important.
Kind of what we do. It's kind of what we live for.
2025 was a huge year for us, and honestly, we have no intention of stopping or slowing down. So be ready for more firework films stuff. But until then, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you in the new year.
Bye.
Bye-bye.